Hello! This screencast is about how to use Google Forms to make an online form to use with your students. Adding online forms to many of your lessons is a good way to start to integrate digital literacy into your lessons. Okay, to start, identify the language that you're going to use for your online form. Be sure to use language that's familiar to your students and that is part of a lesson that you are currently doing. You don't want the language to be new in addition to the format of an online form, so you want to be as consistent as possible. Also, whenever you can, go ahead and make the online form language consistent also with the way that your students will see forms outside of class or in their real life outside of class. Alright, so let's get started. This is the page from the Staying Healthy curriculum that we're going to be using as an example. This is on page 6, and it is an oral practice activity that we are going to convert into an online form. And one of the reasons we're going to do that is because these are common questions that a student would get, or that any individual would get, when they are in an interaction with a healthcare provider in their healthcare system. Okay, so this is the language that we were addressing. What is your name, address, etc. So let's go ahead and start creating an online form. First of all, go to Google. If you have a Google account, go ahead and sign in, or you can go ahead and create one if you want to. And the link is in the online module. So once you've gone to Google and signed in, here I've already signed in over here, then what you can do is go to the Google Apps menu, which is this menu up on the top right that I'm circling. It's a bunch of squares. If you click on that and go to Drive, then we get this, so we're in Google Drive, already signed in, and we've got an opportunity to create, or sometimes this says new, and if you click on Create and click on Form, this will help us to create a new Google form. Pretty straightforward, and I think you'll find this to be a very useful resource. We don't need any of these options. We don't want to require login. We don't want to shuffle the question order. It's important to us that they be the same. And we don't need a progress bar, although that's something you could do later. I would encourage you to start simple and then become more complicated as students become used to doing this. It's a really easy way to sort of put a little bit of digital literacy kind of across the board in your lessons. All right, so let's title it. I just double checked on this box that talks about the form, just the title. Let's see, let's call it Staying Healthy. Chapter 1, Healthcare. There we go. I don't think we need a form description here. And then we're going to go ahead and add the questions. So we just click in this question title box, and the question title is the actual question. So what is your last name? Let's do last name separately. In most forms, students or people have to do their last name and first name separately. So let's do that, and that makes it a little bit different from the text, but not that different, and I think it's easy enough to explain to students. So we're going to choose the question type, and what this means is what is the format that the form will have for the response. So this is just a short text, and what that looks like when you click Done is there's the question and a little box that will expand to fit the name, but it wouldn't allow like lots of text for questions. So what is your last name? If I had done something wrong here, then this is where I could go to edit the question. For example, if I wanted to put a number in here or change it somehow, I could use this little pencil icon to edit and click Done. Now when I add an item, I want another question. What is your first name? I want it to be a text response, and then I'm done. I'm just going to go ahead and add some more items. What is your address? And this one, I think I'll give it a little bit longer so they can have several lines. And then that's what it looks like. So it shows you an image of what your response will look like. And then Done. And then you can go on through the questions. What is your phone number? I'm going to just do a couple more. What is your phone number? Not multiple choice. I just need a text box for that one. And so on. And you can get through all of the questions. What is your address? What is your phone number? What is your email address? Where do you go for health care? And what health insurance do you have? And you can decide on how long you want the response box to be. If you want it to be a full paragraph text size, and this can have multiple lines, or if you want just a simple box. So you give some guidance to the responder. So when you're done, when you've finished all your questions, then what you'll do is decide how you want to finish it. So show link to submit another response. No, we don't want to do that. Publish and show a public link to the form results. Yes, this is what we'll do. So what we'll do is be able to send our students or give our students a link to this online form that they can fill out. And we're not going to allow them to edit because that's not typical in online forms that one can edit them after the fact. So we're going to only just do the publish. So then what we're given is a form that shows us 3 different ways that we might deliver this form to our students. We can have a link and copy this link, which is what we'll do. We can send it directly via email, and you can just copy and paste your students' email addresses into this box. Or we can use the Embed Code, and what that does is if you have a web page that you're using with your students, you can create a link or embed the actual survey in the online form. What we're going to do is just copy that link, and then what we'll do is go ahead and send the form. Oops, we don't want to send it that way. So what that means is we're done. And that way we have created it. And a spreadsheet, what the new spreadsheet is your responses. As people do their survey, you can look at the responses to see in a spreadsheet form. And then we're done. So that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoy this screencast. I hope you enjoy using forms, online forms with your students. I think it's a good, easy way to integrate digital literacy across the curriculum.